Good day. In today's video, I want to share my thoughts on how powerful our brains are, or how powerful they maybe could be in the future. Because it's well known we don't use the entirety of our brain, and some of it is conscious, some of it is subconscious. And from doing a little bit of research, people can't quite decide either on how much we use our brain and how much of the brain is actually the conscious part of the brain. But we know that we're not using 100% of it, and not all of it is the conscious mind. So just from those two statements, I believe that we're able to do much more with our brains. And also, if we use our brains, choose to use our brains either to when we talk to people or when we think, whenever we're really in a deep conversation and we really need to actually articulate ourselves, and we have a bit more of a hard time doing it, it trains our brains. And I believe that if we're doing that a lot, just like when we are using our muscles, like in the gym you're lifting weights, you're training them, you're making them stronger. I think you're also increasing your brain power. And for example, although you have like a big problem you need to solve as a consultant or just in life in general, that shit happens, that also helps us to increase our capability of our brains. And I believe that whilst we are going through life, and if we're choosing to go more down the path of personal development and actually challenge yourself, develop ourselves, and actually grow as a person, as a human being, our brain, we actually start using more of the brain that the normal person does. And my reason of this thought process is that after I started getting more into personal development, thinking time, actually going at challenges, trying to solve problems, and really try to make a better life for myself and my family, I have noticed that I start going a lot more deep with a lot of things. For example, like my last video, or a couple of videos ago, where I talked about Lord of the Rings, where often now I've watched it for many years now, I have a completely different perspective of them, and I actually do believe that there's 3 very important life lessons to be learned in the Lord of the Rings. And if you're interested in watching that video, click on the link below or go on the channel and watch it. It should very well be there. And keeping that in mind, and it's the same with, for example, athletes. They're very good at running, or for example Usain Bolt, which is very good at running. One of the main reason why he's the fastest is because of his brain. Of course, he's very well trained and has a good physique. That of course plays a part into it. If you're fat, you can't run as fast as a light person. Just because you weigh more, you need to carry around more weight. It's the same thing with cars. If you have the same engine in 2 cars and one of them is heavier than the other, their aerodynamics is the same. Well, the lighter car is going to be the fastest, especially when it comes to accelerating. But the mind is also a big part of it for humans, because we develop it, and if we're putting a lot of our effort and energy of our mind's power, we're actually harnessing that power and using it in one specific area. Just like a muscle, it gets stronger and stronger, it gets better at problem solving. And I believe that that is one of the reasons for that, is we actually learning to use more of our brain. And in the future, where there's done much more research on this, and I think we're about to take the first step in the right direction, with there's a lot more focus on mindset and mental health in general, which I think is the first step we're going to take in that direction to actually discover the full potential of the human mind. And when we start discovering that potential, when we start learning how to use 100% of our subconscious mind consciously, that's when the humans is really going to excel as a species. And I think that's actually what we need if we ever want to, for example, be an intergalactic empire. Because, well, I think other factions out there, aliens, most likely do exist. I think that's like the stepping stone for any alien, human, or whatever the case is, to actually start that, because we really need to do a lot more research and development and come up with new solutions, which to come up with all the solutions before things go to shit, we need to excel our brain power and use our brains better. And why else should we have gotten so much more clever and got a lot more intelligent over the years since the humans started? This, I think, is because we're unlocking more and more of our brains. We're training it. We're also expanding the potential of the brain whilst doing it. That might also be it. And we might become superhumans that is running around with night vision and thermal vision and can jump 20 meters in the fucking air, which I do hope. Quite cool. So maybe we can actually get to fly one day, or we might all just go insane because, well, we're not supposed to reach that potential because we might do it with science or research on some matter of that. And I think this is a very interesting subject, and I would love to hear your thoughts on it in the comments down below. Talk to you all soon.